We spoke to Angela Knight earlier, who is the former chief executive of the British Bankers Association, and she said that there's already been a cultural change in the banks, and a lot of what's happened is because they were asked to do this by successive governments.
Well, I think it's certainly a fair comment to say that bank culture has been in the spotlight for a number of years now, largely as a fallout of the very serious conduct that was revealed by the financial crisis. But it's also plain that there's still a long way to go. The issues that have befallen RBS and NatWest and Coutts this week are not new, unfortunately. It's been going on for some time, and we know from our own experience at Us For Them, the campaigning organisation that I'm associated with, that banks have been behaving in this way for at least the last year or two. So it's good to see a commitment from government and a commitment from banks that they need to up their game. But this is it's coming quite late in the day, and more needs to be done.
Now, you're the lawyer for Us For Them, as you say. Now, this was a parents' group that campaigned to keep schools open during the pandemic, I should say. Just explain, then, what happened to Us For Them.
Yeah, so Us For Them it's a grassroots parents and grandparents organisation. We were very active during the pandemic, campaigning for children's welfare generally to be prioritised and given due prominence in policymaking. And in particular, of course, that led to us campaigning hard on the issue of school closures, which was having a drastic effect on children across the country. Back in September of last year, completely out of the blue, PayPal, which had been providing the payment means for Us For Them to receive very small donations from thousands of parents and grandparents across the country, most of them £5, £10, £20. But PayPal, out of the blue, sent an email to our founder to say that they had decided that due to the nature of our activities, they were going to close down our PayPal account. And worse than that, they not only froze the account with no notice, they effectively seized all of the funds that were sitting in that account and refused to hand them back.
And just very quickly, does that indicate to you that not only the banks have not been able to police themselves, but the financial ombudsman, the FCA, the whole apparatus has failed as well?
Well, I think there is a question to be asked here about the role that the Financial Conduct Authority can and should be playing here. Back in September of last year, we mobilised very quickly and with support from Toby Young, who leads the Free Speech Union, who suffered the same fate on almost the same day as Us For Them in what looked like a fairly coordinated takedown by PayPal. We managed to call in for support from actually a lot of MPs, a lot of peers who wrote to the business minister and to the Treasury at the time and brought this to their attention. We asked then for the regulator to look carefully at what PayPal had done, because it seemed to us to be totally inconsistent with the principles that they're obliged by law to follow, to treat their customers fairly, to act with integrity. And so, yes, there is a role here for the regulator. It seems that they've been slow to act. We would like to see them do more, to act more aggressively, to clamp down on this sort of behaviour. But I think the coming days, the coming weeks, we will see how committed they are to tackling these issues, particularly in relation to what's just happened with Coutts and the resignation of the chief executive.